Welcome to a Hopkins Center event at Rollins Chapel. Please take a moment to notice the exits at the sides and the rear of the room. Please also take a moment to silence all cell phone and noise-making devices and turn off any electronic devices that may emit either light or sound. Please note that photography, flash photography, or recording of any kind is strictly prohibited. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for coming out to support live music and still alive musicians. It means a lot to us, to leave behind all those television channels and, TikToks and Snapchats, and because nothing beats the live experience. So we are really, as musicians, as artists, we are really, really grateful. The first piece you heard was based on a traditional rag called jog. The second was a short glimpse of a tabla solo where you take a fixed composition, which even this little monkey knew. Or his name is Viren. Please give him a big round of applause. What you're seeing with him is a living tradition. My debut concert with my guru was when I was 16 years old. I was told that I'm playing with Ravi Shankar and him 30 minutes before the show. And 5 minutes before entering the venue, the only tip I was given was my guru pointed at his shoes and said, "Do you see these?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "If I see fear in your eyes while on stage, that's what's going to come flying at you." I haven't said anything like that to you, have I? So this is a process. No classrooms can beat this experience. He has been attending classes with me, visiting doing everything that we have been doing. And till this moment, this poor chap doesn't know what he's supposed to play. But whatever he learns will be his for the rest of his life. On my left is Rajiv, and please welcome Rajiv Karmakar on the sitar. I'll talk more about him, and to my right is my newest brother, newest member of my life, member of my family, a part of my life. I'm so happy that this project gave me the opportunity to meet the amazing Kais SR on the rabab. So the way I have planned this evening is you will get to hear all the individual voices separately too, so that you get the flavor, yet transposed with pieces that we will play as a group. So the next piece is a beautiful, beautiful tune that will immediately transport you. I'm not going to tell you where, because you will feel it. It's a piece called Mugli, brought to us by Cass. So let's enjoy Mugli. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. क्या बात. Quickly, we transition to a sitar solo. We have chosen a very rare tal called dhamar, which is a cycle of 14 beats. It's one of those rare tals where the downbeat is actually not an open sound, but it's a closed sound, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1. So if you are able to count till 14, which I'm pretty sure all of you can, every time you hear this sound, that's the 1. Let's see if you can keep track. Rajiv Karmakar on sitar solo. Shabash. The next piece that we are going to play has become our favorite. We have been singing it while eating, we have been singing it while dreaming, and of course in our showers. And so we decided, why not call it our Delhi to Kabul piece. So this is the piece that we just chose to name it Delhi to Kabul. It's again another beautiful, beautiful tune brought to us by Kas. And then we are like, while the tune, I'm trying to cover up by talking. So it's like you go into a kitchen and Kas gives you some ingredient. He's like, hey, how about this saffron from Afghanistan? And Rajiv says, how about this, olives or whatever, I don't cook. So my wife here will know exactly why I have no idea what ingredients are in a kitchen. Cardamom. So Rajiv says, let's throw some cardamom. And I said, okay, let's throw some salt in the form of rhythm. So that's how pieces come together. As you see, there's no music stands, no scores. There's a lot of talking, sharing, eating, and having fun. That's how pieces come together. So the next piece is Delhi to Kabul for all of you. In case you guys are wondering why I'm shouting shut up at these guys, a few years back, I played a big concert at Carnegie Hall with this slightly more famous than me cellist with the name of Yo-Yo Ma. End of concert, artist exit, we walk out. There are 20,000 people waiting to meet not me. They were waiting to meet him, but there were fortunately 4 people who also wanted to talk to me. And out of that, 2 women came up and were like, that was such a fantastic concert. That was such a great concert. But why did you keep saying shut up to Yo-Yo Ma? And I was like, there is no way I would ever say shut up to him. So this back and forth kept happening. My car came, I jumped into the car, and I left. 2 seconds later, I was cracking up with laughter because what they heard as shut up was me shouting shabash, which is bravo. So next time you hear me saying shabash to Rajiv or shabash to Viren or Kes, maybe join in. So here's a Rabab solo from KSSR. Please give him a big round of applause. क्या बात, शाबाश। फिर से तो। शाबाश, क्या बात है, Love you. This will be the last piece of this set. Then we have some dance, we have some storytelling. So you guys should be paying more, actually. Yeah, it's like you're getting all in one. Anyway, this is the last piece. Is a piece based on a traditional raga called Kirwani. So with that, we'll end this first 45 minutes. Thank you. But it will continue, so no intervals. Don't disappear. much. Love you, bye. One more. There will be a quick stage move for freeing up some space for dance. And let me talk about how this thought of this project came into my head. You know, I say that I have been very fortunate that 21 years back, I got invited to play with someone who turned out the greatest human being that I met. Cello was just an excuse, is just an excuse to make him human. It's like, oh, what does he do who plays cello? But in 21 years, the more time I've spent with him, traveled with him, you know, I felt that's who I want to follow, and that's who I want to die following. That's the kind of respect and love I have for Yo-Yo Ma. When the world was facing its, ISIS crisis, and a lot of our Muslim friends were being stopped at the border and not being let in, that is also the time that we got our Grammy. At the Grammys, after getting the award, there was this press conference that suddenly one of the journalists threw us a question and said, a lot of your friends are being stopped, turned back. What are you guys going to do about it? There was pin drop silence. Nobody wanted to take that question. It's a sensitive one. That's when, I just took the mic and I said, make more music. I came back home, spoke with Yo-Yo again, and he said, that was absolutely right. We are not politicians. Let's spread love. Let's make more music. That's how my project, Transcending Borders, One Note at a Time, started. I started working with Syrian musicians. That's my first album, Delhi to Damascus. It's out here for sale. Why I'm mentioning that is for the last at least 10 concerts, every concert that I've played around the world, I've donated 100% of the money collected to some or the other not-for-profit organization. But for the last 5, I've been donating money to Doctors Without Borders for earthquake relief. Earthquake relief in Syria and Turkey. So go on your way out, buy these CDs. Most of us don't have CD players anymore. They make excellent Christmas hangings. Or give it to someone that you might not like. I don't know, but it's a good album. It was number 5 on the Billboard. It was in the top 10 of every list. We even made it to the Grammy nominations. It's out there. Pick one up. The money for this concert will go to an organization called Barkat, which sends money to Afghanistan for the education of girls. That's when, okay, whoever else is playing with me, please get back on stage. Yes. And Antara, wherever you are, take position. So Barkat, we will send that money to Barkat. I bumped into Humaira, who I will talk about later in the evening, while at a dinner at Cambridge, and I found out that she and her son had made it out of Kabul before the explosion. And I was like, I have a project, Delhi to Damascus, Delhi to Istanbul, Delhi to Shiraz. My hope is to create a volume of work that long after I'm gone, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, I have left behind something that people can pick up, listen, hear, or enjoy, and believe that there was love on this planet, there is love on this planet, and there will always be love on this planet. Now what you're going to witness is a very, very amazing form of an Indian classical dance called Kathak. And without any further ado, I invite my student, disciple, where is she? dancers need more time than musicians to get ready, I believe. So Antara Bharadwaj, and again, a lot of it is improvised. Hope you have fun. Thank you so much. Let's start. God bless, God bless. Do this to her. Firu, come here, this side. Quick. 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 Start.
Perform. Namaste, good evening. It's my first time in New Hampshire. So excited to be here. But in the interest of time, I move on. One fixed composition I learned with my Guruji. I'll recite it.
Shabbat.
A short chalan. Chalan comes for word chalna or to rock. So it's a kind of a groove. Takita takita tin.
Let's start. Din, da, da, tin, da. I've already changed it. She flew in from California prepared to dance takita takita tin, but that's what happens in live Indian classical music. I was like, nope. Let's do another chalan, which is din, da, da, tin, da, da, tin, da, 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 tin, da, 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 din, takita takita tin, takita takita tin. So it will eventually come. Let's see what happens.
Let's go. When I mentioned about these projects, one of the person that, like Yo-Yo, that I have learned so much from and have so much respect. And every time I meet him, I'm blown over by not only his knowledge, but how humble this great man is. So much so that when the last time I was performing here with the Silk Road, I spoke about him, and someone actually from the office got jealous. It's like, you kept talking about Ted Levin. You didn't mention me. I was like, well, if Yo-Yo Ma can't stop talking about him, who am I? So when I mentioned this to Ted, the stage can move. So wherever you are, the stage crew. Yes, guys, get off. The stage will come here. Yes, get off, come on. Back to its position, first position. Yeah, being an artist is a way of life. If I only played tabla, it wouldn't work. So anyway, so when I mentioned this to Ted Levin, that I've been working on these projects and I want to create something with this author, Humaira Qaderi. It was so beautiful. It didn't even take him a second. He said, bring it to Dartmouth. So thanks to Ted Levin, thanks to Mary Lou, thanks to Karen, thanks to the entire staff of the Hopkins Center, this is the world premiere of Delhi to Kabul. It belongs to all of you. So, when you go out, when you hear this, each one of you has contributed to the creation of Delhi to Kabul. It's yours. I spoke to Humaira. I said, there's this very, very famous Indian author who was a contemporary of Mahatma Gandhi's, Rabindranath Tagore. He was the first non-European, non-white person to get the Nobel Prize in Literature. So, prolific songwriter, composer. Amongst the many, many, many stories and short stories he wrote, one of the stories that I remembered was Kabuliwala. It talks about how someone from Kabul comes to India and he falls in love with this little girl, and he's imagining through seeing her, how his daughter, who's been left in Kabul, must have grown up by now. So I spoke with Humaira and I said, can you take that story and create something based off of that, but that's yours, which becomes ours. And she has written a beautiful short story. Of course, we can't share the entire story. It will be up on my website, on Humaira's website, on the 1st of next month. So go check it out when we put it out there. We have taken a very short excerpt, and I will invite one of my other students, Shonul Malik, to come up, and she will recite this excerpt. And while Viren, Rajiv, and Kaes put together some music for that story, and this will lead into the finale. So once more, thanks to all of you for coming out. Thanks to Hop. Thanks to our amazing crew. Thank you, Jesse. Thanks to our sound engineer, light engineers for making us look so pretty. So please give them a big round of applause. And I don't know where Humaira is sitting. Can you stand up, please, Humaira? Please give her a round of applause. Yeah, come on over. We'll call you at the end. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed our rendition of this excerpt and leading into the finale. Thank you very much. Yes.
It's a good position.
Santa, stretch, man.
Okay.
Or maybe you can sit here. Yeah.
I am lying on my mother's empty bed. My long hair forms a wave around me. I close my eyes tightly, hoping that the memory would still be there. Tears were uncontrollably flowing down my face. And then Mother came. She had a bottle of coconut oil and a wooden comb that my father had brought to her as a gift from India. I was still shedding tears, and she was trying to comfort me. Your father will be back, and soon. I'm in India with my father, in Delhi, at the Barber Garden. Everything around is green and gorgeous and beautiful, except for the blue sky. The weather is humid and very hot. Black clouds are stirring. Suddenly, there's a loud commotion when the raindrops hit the pile of tangled leaves. Food on Fridays was always brought. Father would tie his apron before he would start cooking, and I would be his little trainee. But when my father did not come, my mother continued to cook broth on Fridays. I have seen her kneeling in the kitchen many times, crying. And as I grew older, I noticed that the mother crying in the kitchen became sadder and even more desperate. Mother is in the hospital now after a heart attack. And father has not returned for 15 years. 15 long years. I open the door of my mother's room. She's asleep, so I sit on the chair, trying to move as little as possible. I've decorated her room with beautiful bouquet of flowers. And just then she opens her eyes and says, "Oh, you are here." And I say back to her, "A beautiful bouquet of flowers for a beautiful lady and a beautiful bride." My mother's tears start running down her face. And then someone knocks on the door. Wait, was that a knock?
अरे नीचे नीचे ही रहो आ जाओ let's go let's take a quick bow let's go to the front quick
I'd like to invite our guests to please stay for a brief conversation with our artists.
quick just the ladies take a bow come on Antara Shonul Homaira and Bailey take a bow all of us together come on let's take a bow let's go
Yeah, Sandeep, congratulations.
Thank
What
you.
a show.
Thank you so
Really
much.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Live music is always good, but it's best when it's alive.
Yes,
And
thank you.
that was alive.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
You know, it's as an audience, it's a privilege to see a premiere of a work. And one of the things that comes with being a premiere is it's, in a sense, a work in progress,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So where does it go from here?
It will only keep getting better. You know, it's for us, I think, since it's not written down, every time we play it, we learn from our past experience, and we just keep striving to making it nicer and better. It's not that this was not nice, it will be nice in a different way. So it will keep giving us joy, and I hope it will keep giving every audience members joy around the world.
So what would you change?
Nothing. You think we should change anything? Let's take a poll. Do you think we should change anything? No. Right? I think the only thing we can keep getting better at is being happier, sharing more, and maybe playing a concert in the Indian tradition where there is no time limit. Where I don't have to look at a clock and time everything. That's the only thing.
Were you looking at the clock tonight?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I didn't want to go over 1 hour, 15 minutes. I'm so proud we made it 1 hour, 14 minutes, 30 seconds.
But how is it that you can pull together? I mean, you had one day rehearsal for this show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
You
how
know,
does that happen?
that's the beauty of our tradition, that the way we are trained. So it's, you know, like I can't take credit for anything, and in a way I can't even give credit to anyone, because it's the tradition that we come from, which is oral. Everything is transmitted by your guru as and when. You know, Antara mentioned she would learn compositions while shopping at Whole Foods. I learned compositions while riding horses. So, you know, like literally our senses, all our senses are engaged. So even one day of getting together, actually what Professor Levin is saying, that we just got a day, even that not completely, totally that full day for us, but the way we are trained, that we share ideas. It's like, hey, how about I bring some orange? And the other one says, oh, how about adding a dash of red there? Maybe a streak of white. And so suddenly we decide the colors and we start painting on the canvas. And we like something, so we don't like some things. We make a mental note, and believe me, we did a rehearsal, then we did a sound check, everything changed. Then we went into the dressing room next doors, and I said, man, I'm the oldest in this group. Tell me, what did we decide in the sound check? And these young superstars, they told me, oh, this is what we decided. But ask them, they're here. We ended up doing things differently anyway. So that's the kind of music, the tradition that we come from. In a way, it keeps everything fresh, We feel challenged. We feel alive every second because there is no amount of rehearsals that can make us play note by note. So there are a few misses, there are a few strikes. It's like a good soccer team. You know, you have a Lionel Messi, you have a Ronaldo, you bring in Pele, you bring in Maradona. You know, you will score. So that's it.
So tell us a little bit about the connection between India and Afghanistan, music-wise. What is that connection?
You know, the gentleman sitting next to me knows 200 times more about this question. Why don't you tell me and educate me about the connection? All I remember is this huge man with a turban that used to come every evening at 5 p.m. with a metal trunk on his head. And we would be excited as kids. We would say, oh, Kabuliwala is here, Kabuliwala is here, because he would bring the nicest pastries, cream rolls, and stuff that your mom didn't want you to eat. And we kids, pretending that we are going out to play soccer, would chase him and try to gobble as many pastries as we could before your mother found out. So that's my initial and most, amazing memory. And I also remember that every time he would shake hands, my hands would disappear because his palm was so big. It's like it would just envelop. Culturally, historically, I shouldn't be speaking in front of you. Yeah, he's the man. He is
but
the man.
you've clearly felt something in this connection. I mean, one can talk about history and about the Mughals and about Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, who conquered Kabul before he then marched on to Delhi. But musically, what did you feel that made you want to explore that?
It's like cousins. So, Kais, I met him first time ever in my life 2 days back at Dartmouth. I met him. We hugged, he pulled his instrument out. The moment he struck the first note, this is my first time ever playing with Rabab on stage, yet it didn't take me even 1 second to feel connected. So if I don't become very academic, the connection is so obvious. The way we treat ragas, the way we treat rhythm cycles, the way we treat folk songs is so similar. It's just being cooked in a different kitchen. You have a biryani cooked by my beautiful wife, and you then go to Shonul's home and you get biryani at her home. It's the same biryani, but the taste has changed. So it's the same thing, when you pull out our instruments, we know that the flavor is different, but the ingredients of heart, love, years of training, being scolded by your guru, and generations of music being passed on comes alive, and you have fun.
How did you find Case?
So Rajiv Karmakar on the sitar, I call him my official artist supplier. I only moved to the US 10 years back. I've been playing here since 1991. I only moved here 10 years back. Anytime I need a good musician, first of all, I found him. I called a fellow musician, friend of mine that I knew from India, and I said, is there any good sitar player in the US? And he's like, not many. And I said, man, who will I play with? And he's like, there is this guy in Los Angeles. He's good. I said, send me a link. He sent me a YouTube link. 2 days later, he was playing with me at Brandeis, which is now 7 years back. But he sent Antara to me when I wanted a good Kathak dancer. Antara ended up becoming my student. He mentioned, I started talking about, I need a good rabab player, but a rabab player who understands music beyond just playing a tradition, someone who can collaborate, someone who has an open heart. And he couldn't just stop praising Kais. We had a Zoom meeting. On Zoom, I liked him, whatever he said, and I trusted Rajiv's praise, and I trusted Kais's cool looks, and I said, we'll find out. And he just fit in beautifully.
No, that's terrific. I mean, Zoom dates can be dangerous sometimes, right? But this one really worked out.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
terrific.
Homera,
Yeah.
I bumped into her at a dinner,
Yeah.
and my wife actually met her first,
Yeah.
and she said, have you met this amazing woman from Kabul? And actually, she inspired me to think, it's like I've been working about Syria, Shiraz, and here is a next door neighbor. And my wife said, why don't you do something about Delhi to Kabul?
Yeah.
And that's how this thought came into my head.
This was, I thought, very beautiful with this story. Really, really lovely. So is that going to get more developed, do you think?
Of course.
You'll keep going with
that's the best part. Nothing's written down.
Yeah.
It can only keep growing. Like you were witness to my first ever piece that I wrote for Yo-Yo, Tarang. And I never let Yo-Yo at the Silk Road write it down. And because of that, we kept playing it for 12 years. If it was written down, we would probably play it in 5 concerts, and we would get bored. So that's the nature of our music. It will only be fresh, it will be different, and it will keep growing.
Yeah. Well, I hope you'll come back to Dartmouth again with something else, fresh, alive, new idea.
Can I say
continue
something? I travel the world, I go into music schools, I go to different schools, Juilliard, Berkeley, Dartmouth, and Dartmouth students, some of them that I see here, are the best, very best in this planet. I love you all. The eagerness, the enthusiasm, the curiosity that thanks to you and their other professors that I see on their faces. Look at them. I go do master classes at other schools, 50 students come. At the concert, 1 turns up. It should be the other way around. It just breaks my heart. I tell them that come to the concert, whether you come or not, I will still get paid the same. So I'm not trying to sell tickets, but this is where the real thing is happening. All the students that we met and that I'm working with is here. I will come back, I'll keep coming back, and my wish is that the group of students that I'm teaching tabla actually get up on stage with me, and we do a world premiere of a tabla ensemble, first time ever in Dartmouth.
Great. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sandeep.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.